Matthew, thank you very much for your time. Starting off in the first leg of the place accumulator on Saturday, you've got the two runners, number 7 Innovation with Callan Murray, and of course number 9 Master Sword with Randall Simons.
Yeah, they're both horses that would have needed their first outing and probably definitely was too short for them. So they've definitely made improvement at home. Innovation's got a good jaw. I'm hoping for a lot of improvement from him because I was slightly disappointed in his first run. Master Sword ran a good race, was in a weak field, but considering the amount of work he had and the distance, it was a pretty promising run. So they both got little each way chances.
Matthew, Saturday, a very interesting runner in Smoky Affair. You'll obviously know how good Ectifar is, and this filly was staying on very well in a Grade 2 Fillies Championship and only finished 2 lengths behind her. She also ran very well in the Fillies Guineas, and that was a very bad draw.
Yeah, she's come up from Cape Town. It's always hard to assess how they're going to run, but on what she's been showing us at home, it looks like she's going to be the type of filly that might need slightly further than this. She's had a lot of work, so she is pretty fit. Yeah, it's hard to assess how she's going to go, like I've said, but on her work, I wouldn't discount her.
A lot of jockeys have been very complimentary about the track surface here at Turffontein, notwithstanding the fact we haven't had any rain, but if there's a track that's got a beautiful surface, it must be Reinke's. Are you still able to put the horses on the grass there?
Yeah, we are. They've scarified half of it now, so probably over the next month or so we might suffer a little bit, but the track at Reinke's has always been great. We've been very fortunate about that, and it's lovely to come racing at Turffontein. It's a pleasure. Between Turffontein and Reinke's, I'd say they're probably two of the best grass tracks in the country.
All right, Leon, quite a busy day for you on Saturday, but they really involve mostly the first and second races, depending, of course, whether Chartered Jet takes up his position. But let's start off with Benno, Cape Fly. He's great. Razor Flag, Sardius, Striker's Boy, and Toby Coates. Nice story here.
Yeah, look, I left it, the first 3 in, Andrew. With the best draws, it's Turffontein inside. You always know 1,000 metre inside, you're in trouble with a bad draw. Then they phoned me at about 10:30, said to me, look, Leon, it's a small field. Do you want to reinstate, please? So I thought, well, look, if there's not enough horses, leave them all in. From a bad draw, I'm going to have an 8 or a 9 draw. And then when I look at the computer, I see, bloody hell, it's a full field of 14. But by then it was too late to scratch. And I left them in and then find jockeys. But yeah, the better horse, he's great. And Sardius, they're drawn a little bit wide, so they have to overcome their draw and have to overcome the bad of the draw, but they're decent sorts. Striker Boy's drawn well. Ivan sold the horse, and if he can produce his second run, he'll be a good account of himself. So with the good draw, he's about my best runner for that specific race.
Okay, fantastic. Then we go on to the second race where you've got Radiant Flower and Really Mine with JP and Sherman Brown doing duty for you.
Yeah, look, both of them first runs, were green coming around the bend. They doesn't know where they were going. But both of them run on. They're looking for more ground. And second run, I'm always a little bit wary of that, but I expect them to be in the back end of the quartets at least.
Adam, thanks as always for your time. Starting off in the second race of the afternoon with horse number 2, Ice Art, and Gavin Lorena.
Andrew, Ice Art jumps from a bad draw. Last time out over 14.50, we were a little bit disappointed. She's always a filly that ran well over the shorter distance, but we did expect when we put over further to show us a bit more. She was slightly disappointing, so we're going to give her one more try over the 14.50. If she disappoints, we'll probably come back to a shorter trip. However, if she does stay, I think Mr. Led's horse probably being the horse to beat. His horse also now trying the 14.50 for the first time, but being a grazing out of a Dupont mare, probably going to enjoy it. We do receive a weight advantage from her, so that's the one thing we do have in our advantage. And hopefully, if she does stay, she could run into the money.
Lovely. Then on to the third race where we've got Landudno. He looks like he's knocking on the door.
Yeah, he's actually been an honest horse. The guys that are involved with him are really happy. They say he's like a little ATM machine, so I suppose as long as he continues earning, they're happy, but it would be nice to crack a maiden. Mr. Sage's horse looks like the horse that's probably the horse to beat in the race. Inside track trip probably suited well to him. I think he will run a good race.
Lovely. Then race 5, number 5, is a horse that Pierce Stratham has got down to a fine art.
Yeah, he is. He's really got on well with Amsterdam, and now they've put it up to a 2,000 from the 1900, which I think will suit him even better. And I think there's a lot of factors that are in his favour in the race, as long as the horse is fit and well and puts his mind to the job. I think he may be the horse to beat in the race. At home he is working well. We gave him a bit of break and did his vaccinations. So the only question mark that punters should exercise is that he may be in need of the run.
And then, of course, Gaynor Rupert Satouche, very consistent, and also another win beckons soon.
Shatouche has done really well also, really consistent filly. I think, she got penalised for running second last time, a little bit harsh. Something that you've got to keep in the back of your mind, was it too much? If not, it is inside track where she has run well. She jumps from a good draw. Every time she jumps from a good draw, she runs a good race. So she's definitely one to put into your bets.